Hi everyone, my name is Katherine Brownson. I'm a first-year student in the Ecology department, and I'm happy to be here today to talk to you about some research that I'm thinking about doing as part of my PhD, but I'm still definitely working on it, to assess the integrative water resource management framework within the context of La Plata Basin in Argentina. So today I'm going to provide an introduction to integrative water resource management, or IWRM as it is also known, go over one of my research questions, provide some background on my study area, go over a proposed research method, and discuss the significance of my research. So IWRM has been promoted by the UN and the World Bank as a way to manage the competing growing demand on our freshwater resources. And so this is the Global Water Partnership's definition of IWRM, and they've been put in charge of implementing this framework by the UN and the World Bank. You'll note that they define it as a process, so it doesn't necessarily have a fixed endpoint. They also emphasize the connection between the management of water and the management of land. And they also claim to be able to maximize economic and social welfare without compromising ecological sustainability. So this is kind of our classic win-win scenario. And so this is ideally how IWRM projects would work, starting at the top here with establishing status and goals, and moving through all these steps, ending up with a monitoring and an evaluation phase, which should feed back into reassessing goals. However, one of the major criticisms of the framework is that this step either doesn't happen at all or it doesn't happen sufficiently enough to be able to judge whether or not the projects are meeting their stated goals. So with that in mind, I'm going to seek to look at whether or not IWRM is improving ecosystem health within the context of rural Argentina, and specifically within the portion of rural Argentina and La Plata Basin, which you can see in these two maps here. La Plata Basin is one of the biggest river basins in the world and has many complex water management challenges associated with it, including providing clean drinking water and sanitation for the over 100 million people that live in this basin. The basin's also very economically important for all 5 of these countries. There's a very big hydroelectric industry, and it contains the second largest dam in the world, the Itaipu Dam. The shipping industry is also quite large in the region, and there's several major agricultural growing regions as well. And there are many sites of ecological significance. As you can see in the map on the right, there are Ramsar sites, biosphere reserves, and national parks throughout the basin. Within rural Argentina in particular, there are a number of water management challenges, including providing clean water and sanitation for the rural poor, many of whom are living in really remote locations like this. Another major challenge has arisen around the rapid conversion of land from native forests and grasslands into large-scale monoculture agriculture, as you can see in the sugarcane plantation here. And this rapid land conversion affects water quality in that it dramatically increases the amount of runoff that's coming from the land. And with that runoff is coming large amounts of sediment and nutrients from all the agriculture. So this is a mud flow further upstream in the basin, to give you an idea. And this is actually the mouth of La Plata Basin as seen from space, to give you an idea of the sediment loads that are coming out. And it's estimated that a lot of the sediment is coming from rural Argentina in particular, which is why it's been prioritized for IWRM. So kind of what I'm thinking about for my research is utilizing the holistic ecosystem health indicator framework, which takes a very broad and integrative definition of ecosystem health in that it looks at a social assessment and ecological assessment, as well as looking at socio-ecological linkages, considering factors like land use practices. And one advantage of it is that it can be adapted to work with local stakeholders to develop the indicators that you're going to monitor. So it's not really a set of indicators, so it can be a very participatory process from the beginning, ideally. And I'm hoping to assess the current ecosystem health in a basin in which IWRM has been implemented, and then compare that either against historical conditions from before IWRM implementation, or against a reference basin in which IWRM was never implemented, depending on the availability of data and suitable reference basins. So this is important because as demand on our water resources are growing, effective water management institutions are going to be critical to help balance competing ecological and social needs for water. And IWRM may be able to help with this institutional development, But it's clear that more comprehensive assessments of ecosystem health are needed to be able to judge whether or not these projects are meeting their stated goals so they can be adapted if needed to better meet local needs. So with that, I want to thank the Graduate School, CICR, School of Ecology, my advisor, Lori Fowler, and people in my lab.